We're going to start with introductions, and it's really nice to be here. Thank you for coming to our panel, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Woo!
No! Trying to get him to stand up, sit up. He has a really round butt, so I get that. Hi guys, thank you for being here. I know this is going to be a very fun panel. We plan on just having a big open discussion, so if you guys have any questions about cosplay in any form, we're all pretty well versed in that, I believe. So, but hi, my name's Dustbunny. I have been cosplaying for over 10 years at this point, and I started out going to conventions just like this one, and actually mine were in malls. I don't know if anyone is like big into Naruto here, maybe? Woo! All right, I was a big Narutard when I was young, and I started cosplaying doing Naruto and Inuyasha, and now I travel internationally to conventions, and I'm a guest, and I live here in Los Angeles. So if any of you guys ever need anything, just message me. It's Dustbunny on Facebook, and that's the easiest way to get to me, so.
Hi you guys, I'm Sarah Storm. I haven't been cosplaying as long, only 5 years for me. My first convention was actually Anime Expo, so I guess I started with like a really big con, which I actually realized I like the smaller cons more. I feel like they're more intimate with everyone. You get to meet a lot more people and like really get to know them. So I've always enjoyed these smaller cons a lot more than Anime Expo, where it's just overpacked with people. But yeah, I'm excited to talk with all you guys and answer any questions that you have about cosplay.
Hey guys, so I'm Nana Bear. I like cosplay, obviously. I've been cosplaying for like a long while. You know, that's good enough. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I like anime. I like more stuff, and you know, I'm really excited to answer questions and, you know, chill with you guys, because you guys all seem super chill. And I know I do too. Wink, wink. I think I'm cool.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Okay, so we'll start taking questions now. You know, now that I made it awkward. You could go first. Gorgeous. Yeah. Okay.
So my first question is, how do you guys prioritize what cosplay you're gonna do? Because, you know, I play a lot of video games, I watch anime, I'm like, I wanna do this, I wanna do this, I wanna do this. I'm like, I can't do all this, I'm too poor. So how do you guys select it?
Alright, I'll go first.
Yeah, it's for all of you.
So, I guess for me, what I do is I'm a big deadline person. I love the idea of having a deadline because then it makes you finish something. But I guess because you're into so much, like I'm like that too. Like I'm like anime, comic books, video games, horror stuff, all that fun thing. So what I do for each cosplay is I'll put it into its own convention. So if it's like an anime convention, I'll make anime costumes. But if it's like even video games, I guess I wear them to anime conventions. But yeah, that's like, it's a really good way to just set deadlines. But I guess the big problem a lot of cosplayers run into, which I run into, is like, you'll start a costume and then find something else, and then you go, I want to make that one instead, but you already started it. So that's, you know, struggle is real there, so, yeah.
I guess for me, for choosing cosplays, if you can't tell, I'm kind of obsessed with Sailor Jupiter. I've been, yeah, no, she's the best. I've been watching Sailor Moon, I think, since I was 3, and I'm 23 now, so for 20 years I've been watching it. And I have probably 4 or 5 different versions of Sailor Jupiter that I do. I even have a tattoo for Sailor Jupiter, but I love taking a character and doing different versions of them. I think that's a lot of fun. But just trying to find a character that you have the connection with really helps when trying to cosplay. Like I always looked up to her in a way, even though she's an anime character. But when I was younger, I was like, I I like her, I'm gonna be her when I'm older, and I kind of am now, and I love it. So finding a character that you really connect with helps when trying to figure out what to cosplay.
I agree. Except for Sailor Jupiter. Obviously, Meatball Head is the best. But, booyah. Okay, next question. Anyone? I encourage you guys to ask questions. Just ask me something.
I guess all the way in the back.
Yeah, sorry. I really want to get into cosplay, but I never really had the time for it. So, what really was your main reason why you wanted to just cosplay? How did you got into this? Sorry.
You got it. You got it. So how we got into cosplay and how we prioritize.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
I guess everybody has a tight schedule. We work, we go to school, we have stuff to do. It's just kind of like it's a hobby that you like so much that you make time to be able to do it. And the way I got into it was I just really, really liked Naruto and really liked Inuyasha. And I mean, seriously, everybody starts like that, you know, like you have that like oldies, and Ranma was like, was like my favorite thing in the world. And there was just one day that I didn't know cosplay existed, and I went to, my friend's like, oh, you should go to like Anime Expo or something. And I had been going to like small conventions, and once I went to Anime Expo and I saw everybody in cosplay, I was like, what? Halloween? Every day? Every weekend? That sounds awesome. And that's how I got into it. I mean, I'm also a sucker for Halloween, so that kind of makes this into the like thing. Right? Like, I don't know if you guys agree. Like, I feel that that's kind of like, I used to love and like go all out in Halloween, and then when I found out about cosplay, I was like, oh my god, I can just do it like on a regular basis. This is amazing. And yeah, like, it's like I'm doing this for real. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess when trying to get into cosplay, when you're starting out, just know there's nothing wrong with buying a cosplay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I started out with buying my costumes because I had no idea how to sew. I didn't have a sewing machine or anything. It wasn't until maybe my second year of cosplay that I started making my own costumes, and now I've just kind of gotten addicted to it. It's actually really therapeutic too, just like sitting there and sewing for some reason. I love it. But just know, if you don't have the time to make a costume, there's nothing wrong with finding one that you really like online and buying it. Just don't be one of those people that goes and says, oh yeah, I made this, when you bought it. Like, give the people who made it the props.
Yeah, that's really true. So when I guess when I started cosplaying, there was no market for cosplayers, like none. So we had to make our own costumes. There was like no other option back then. And I think now people are like okay with you buying costumes, but for a while I know people were really against it. I never understood why that was the case. It's kind of dumb. But I mean, for me, like just starting to cosplay was because I just have like obsessions with characters and series, and for me it's the only way I can truly express how much I love the fandom that I'm a part of. And because I did fan fictions and I did fan art and it wasn't enough. I crossplayed as Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho and Sasuke and Naruto.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, they were my loves, and I was like, I just want to be you. But it's hard. It was a lot easier when I was younger to make costumes, I feel, but now it's like a lot more challenging. So before, I never would stay up the night before working on costumes, but now I find myself like the night before working on costumes. Don't do that. Don't follow my example, please. But yeah, so it's hard to prioritize, but like I said, if you make a deadline and you set it and that's your goal, then it makes it a lot easier. to plan and finish. So, but yeah, if you're gonna order wigs from, or anything from China, do it like a month ahead of time, or else you'll never get it. So that's my big advice on that one. Yeah, because that happens. But yeah, I did it.
Yes. Does anybody have a question? Okay. Let's go with Hidon first.
I know you all three travel. How do you guys pack your wigs?
Your wigs. I know, just toss it there. It's just in a Ziploc bag because I'm lazy. I'm gonna have to comb it later anyways. Like, I tried taking like the first wig I ever like actually poofed out and made this like huge wig to a con, and as soon as I got to the con, it was garbage. So I had to start from scratch. I learned the like hard way. What was I gonna say? Like, what's wrong with me? So yeah, unless you're traveling with like a box with stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly just throw my...
Yeah, just Ziploc bags. You're gonna have
they
to
brush
comb it
out,
anyway.
so no matter what, you need to brush your wig.
Oh, I found this amazing product that is used for horses. Yeah, it's actually amazing. It's called Mane and Tail, and you spray your wigs with it, and you can comb, like your wig can be garbage, and you can comb everything out of the wig with this thing, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, search for the YouTube video. It's incredible. I just ordered 3 bottles. Like, I'm addicted to this stuff. Seriously, super worth it. And let's go to the next question before I start talking weird stuff.
Okay. Okay, one comment about your wigs. Try a silk pillowcase. That does help. But how are you guys feel about, you know, I generally help my friends make costumes, props, and all that. And one thing they get on me about is when I cannibalize old props, old costumes for their new ones.
I do that all the time. Not so much with props, but for costumes, I'll take out, even for my clothes that I'm gonna throw away sometimes, I'll take out zippers and boning and buttons, and I'll salvage anything. Even clothes, I keep them just for like patterns maybe for future, like t-shirts and dresses, so that I don't have to go buy a pattern. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking apart old stuff and making new things out of it. It's better than just throwing the old stuff away and never using anything from it ever again. So, yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Yep, I mean, I have a roommate who was cutting her pants into shorts, and she was just gonna throw the legs away, and I was like, I want the fabric, like, give it to me. Like, anything that I can take, I'll keep and hold on to. I kind of hoard fabric, and I get yelled at by people, but it comes in handy. So there's nothing wrong with like old costumes that I don't wear anymore. I'll be like, okay, I can use this piece of it, taking that off, and I'll put it onto new outfits. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I'm loving the honesty. What? I'm loving the honesty. Like, so much honesty right now.
Letting allow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess another question? Yes.
I know you mentioned that you guys have social media. Which one do you feel is the most dominant compared to, like, for example, Facebook is better than Instagram, and it's much better when you're promoting your cosplay?
I guess for me, Facebook is the most useful, mostly because it hits a wider demographic than, say, like Snapchat, which is a lot younger, or Instagram, which is like kind of in the middle. But Snapchat is like just for fun. I put energy into it because it's just really background and just, you know, another way to get to be interactive with people. Instagram is great, but it's really heavily photos, but I can't really write a lot, and I like to talk to people, and it's harder to communicate with people there. Facebook's really the big one for me. I would do more YouTube videos, but I mean, I'm an editor full time, so I don't want to edit anymore when I get home. But yeah, for me it's Facebook for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I think we all agree with that. We'll answer your question, sir. It's just staring at me. Just made me
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mushroom. I was wondering, do you have any story that you got notified, senpai noticed me, or you got a notification because somebody liked the costume that you wore at a convention?
I do. I'm super dumb, but I love Archer. I don't know if you guys have seen Archer. I cosplay Pam because she is my spirit animal, and I posted it on Twitter, and Amber Nash sent me a message, and she's like, "Man, you look just like Pam," and she's like the voice actor. And then she retweeted my picture and shared it on her Facebook page, and she's like, "Man, is there any kids here?" Yeah, never mind. She said something explicit. Beep. But it was really sweet, and I was like, "Oh, me too," you know? So yeah, I was like, "Oh, senpai, I'll notice you too." I guess I got that, and Patrick Warburg. I don't know how to say
Warburton.
Warburton. Okay, that guy. He's super cool. He's the voice of Kronk. He liked my doctor girlfriend from Venture Brothers. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." You know, so yeah, senpai. Dustbunny, of course. I messaged her, and I was like, please cosplay with me. You are my cosplay senpai. Please, I'll do something for you. And she's like, "Just don't touch me." I'm joking. She's like, "You creeper," because I am #1 creeper for Dustbunny. I'm joking. But yeah, it feels so cool when senpai notices you. I was like, senpai, senpai, and I cried. Okay, you. Do you have a senpai notice you?
I guess so I did an original design for Catbug from Bravest Warriors. I don't know if anyone's seen Bravest Warriors. Yeah. They need to make more. I don't know why there's not more of that show right now. But I love Catbug because everything's okay, and sugar peas. Rebecca. Anyway, so I was at Kamikaze, and I was at the Yard House. I don't know if any of you guys have been to the Yard House. It's really awesome. They got really good onion rings, and I accidentally ran into one of the voice actors for Bravest Warriors, and he was like, "Are you Catbug?" And I was like, "I am." And he's like, "Oh my god, I need to have a picture with you right now," because I had no idea they even had people from Bravest Warriors at Kamikaze, and I think this was 2 years ago. So that was really cool. I got to take a selfie with him, and it's pretty much all of life right there. So
Life is complete.
Life is complete.
Yeah, I guess only once for me, but I messaged Yaya Han and ended up getting a message back from her, and she was just like, it turns out she actually went through my whole cosplay page and was like, "I like this photo and this photo," and I was like, "Wait, you actually looked at my stuff?" I was like, "Really?" Because I'm obsessed with her Chun-Li. It's absolutely beautiful. And Chun-Li is one of my favorite characters to cosplay. She was probably one of the first ones that I did along with Sailor Jupiter. And for her to go, "I really like your outfit," I was like, yes, life is complete. So I guess that was the only time for me that's happened, but it was perfect. And I saved the message and took screenshots.
That was it. You lovely lady with the buns.
What was the most uncomfortable cosplay?
Top 3.
I guess for me, I did Liliana that's from Magic the Gathering, her armor outfit, and I was crying by the end of the day. So I've come to the conclusion anytime I ever do armor, which that was the first and probably maybe last time, never bring it to a convention because it was super uncomfortable. So this is what happens when you rush. I rushed, and I had a huge hit plate which weighed so much because it was made of foam and Warbler, which now looking back it should have just been made of foam. Warbler was the worst idea because it packed on a lot of weight, and it was connected to my hip by wire because nothing was strong enough to hold it. So I was literally getting cut up on my hip like all day. It looked like my cat attacked me. So yeah, probably not gonna do that ever again. Now it's in the closet.
Mine is about armor too. It was like the first time ever I did armor, and I was doing a barbarian from Diablo. I'm for sure gonna make more armor, like cosplay over like health. That's awful. Don't follow that. I'm sorry. But it was so bad. The top part was super. It was my first time doing breastplates, and as you can tell, I can't really actually use like a regular tutorial. I need to go with like humongous, you know. So I did it wrong, and they were too small, and they cut into like the sides of my boobs, and like my waist was all covered in like bruises, and I took everything off, and I was like, oh no. Like I looked like I was like I'd been tortured. It was like awful, but everybody was like, whoa, you look so cool, and I was like, yay. So I was like, worth it.
I don't know if you want to cover the bottom of the table.
Oh, I'm wearing leggings. I don't care. My legs are open.
The life of a cosplayer. Well, I guess for me, mine's actually with armor also. Armor is just, it's hard to like move around in, especially when you're trying to do poses and you have shoulder pieces that only let your arm like lift up this far, but they want you to have your arm like all the way up, and you're just like, yeah, I can't do that. I did Night Elf from Warcraft, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna walk around the convention barefoot. Worst decision ever. I pretty much went home with cuts all over my feet. People stepped on me. My nails were torn. I will. No, I didn't get that.
Okay, good.
But I probably will never walk around barefoot again at a convention. But
You get fungus, don't do it.
yeah, like I'm happy that didn't happen, but part of me is like it was worth it because all the photos came out looking awesome. But then I remembered I could have just taken my shoes off when doing photos. But yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I know everyone really likes Warbler when making armor, but honestly, it's a lot cheaper to just do all foam. So if you're gonna do armor, I advise you look up Evil Ted on YouTube. He does breastplates, tutorials, horns, all sorts of stuff. He's been doing it forever and ever. He's great, and it's so much softer and a lot easier to work with. And you don't have to buy a heat gun. Well, I guess unless you want to, so, yeah. Oh, and for the shoes, the bare feet thing, there are clear sandals you can buy, so please just do that.
If you cut up like your like flip flops, people tie their flip flops with like the clear bra straps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They sew those to the flip flops, and then you can't see it. Like they cut the flip flops to the exact size of your foot, and that way you're not barefoot. Anyway, how about we skip to have you guys ever been bullied? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of people raising hands. Androgynous over there. Hi, gorgeous. I'm not fooling you, you're gorgeous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to start? Or should we like...
I guess I want to start off by saying that when I started cosplaying, it was a really long time ago. So the internet was not as big as it is now as far as just the media on cosplayers and all that sort of stuff. So what I hate now is that I know if I started cosplaying with the skill set I had when I started back then, but I started like right this second, I would be bullied so hard. I'm telling you guys, my stuff was really bad. And I also was really overweight when I started, so I was not really confident, which is probably why I stuck to doing a lot of cross-playing, because I didn't feel like I was really a pretty woman, I guess. So I really sympathize with anyone who goes through any kind of bullying. I went through it a lot, also because I really liked anime, and that was also a thing that people weren't like, oh, that's not cool, you know? So it's really good to have good friends. And if you see someone who's being bullied, you know, definitely try and stand up for them, because that's, you know, it's really not fun to be picked on, so.
Well, I haven't really been bullied, but I guess I've been harassed. So I've had people message me on my Facebook page asking if I'll do like nude shots and everything, and I'm like, that's not something that I do. Like, other people do it, that's perfectly fine, but for me, I don't have the confidence, and they just kind of keep messaging me and like just saying things that they really shouldn't be saying to anyone, and I've had to block people from my page because they won't stop like bringing these topics up, and I'm just like, it's not something I do, I don't want to do that, just please leave me alone, and they just keep doing it. So it's just, if someone says that they don't want to do a certain type of shoot or a certain type of cosplay, don't try and make them do it if they're not comfortable with it.
I guess I've been bullied a lot. I've always been a bigger girl, so ever since I started cosplaying, it started with, I always tell this story, so if you've ever been to one of our panels or ever, like, she knows this story. There was this one kid that I really liked because he did like amazing armor, and I thought he was really cool. And you know when you're like just starting to get to like be part of the community, and you just want everybody to be your friend, and you know you have like everybody's your senpai because you just want friends like as soon as possible because you're like my people, you know. And this was like the first I want to say the first year, month or something that I started cosplaying, and I cosplayed Tsunade from Naruto, and I posted on my page on like my personal Facebook that I really wanted to do like a hentai cowgirl. I don't know, like it's not like a hee-haw cowgirl, but like a moo cowgirl, you know, with like the cute little ears and like a cute little cow print like outfit. I'm obsessed with cows. I think cows are awesome. I know it's super weird.
Okay, I really like chickens.
This is why we're friends. Let's just have a farm together. Seriously. So I posted that on my Facebook, and I went to the next convention, this Tsunade, and this guy that I was like senpai basically walks up to me and looks at me. He's like, "Is that your cow cosplay?" And I was like, "What?" It's like, "Because you look like a cow," and kept walking. And at this point, I was like in tears in the corner, like, did this seriously just happen to me? And all of his friends were like, "Wow, like that, you took it too far." Like, you know, like that's, you know, there's the game of like bully the fat chick, but then there's that one guy that's like takes it a little too far, you know. You know, that always happens, like high school ever. So ever since that time, I guess, slowly I started realizing, you know, I don't have to care what people think about me because I'm having fun with this outfit. I think I look super cute, and like, yeah, like people, thank you, and like people can tell me whatever, beep, and I'll just be like, I don't care, you know, because I feel amazing, and I don't have, thank you, you cute bun woman.
Oh, well, the
they
cosplays
called
up there
buns?
are all cute right now. The cosplays up there are all nice.
Thank you. So I'm just like, you know, you get like thicker skin, I think that's what it's called. To the point where when people tell you that you look bad or whatever they say to you, you just turn around and say, well, that's your opinion, you know? I usually just thank them. I'm like, thank you, that's super sweet, and like keep walking because that just makes them mad. Like, what? Like, you're not angry over the fact that I called you fat? And I'm like, no, that's so sweet, thank you. Like, I had not noticed. Like, seriously, like, it's so nice to you. Like, it's so nice that you actually, you know, took your time to say something like that. So I appreciate that. And I make this like whole deal to where I'm just like happy about it. And then they don't know what to say and leave, you know? I like making people feel awkward. So that kind of works out for me too, though.
Just be like, oh, you're so cute, and then just walk away.
Yeah.
That one's pretty confusing to people because then they're like, oh.
It's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like, call me fat.
No. You're so fat.
Oh, thank you. And then you just walk away, or you're like, oh my god, but you're so cute. And then walk away, and then they're gonna be like that, like her face is like.
Especially because usually they're with like a group of people when this happens, because this has happened to me before.
Yeah.
And normally it's someone with someone, you know, like they're trying to impress someone. So it's more like you're a target.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like a whole psychology thing. It's kind of like one of those things where, which is why I say when you see someone being bullied or harassed, you need to say something, because it's like, there's a whole psychology on this where like, if one person says something in a room, everyone will go on board with that one person. So like if you're in a room and someone's doing something inappropriate and no one says anything, nothing happens, right? But if one person says something and everyone else knows that that's not right and you're right, then everyone else will be like, you're being a total jerk right now. And everything turns on the one person. And then they'll probably never do it again, so.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yay, psychology.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are your top 3 favorite cosplays or cosplays?
Okay. I guess. All right, I'll go first. I guess my top favorite that I've done, right? Okay. Has to be, I guess my Totoro gown is probably number 1. Yeah, mostly the reason, not because it went viral, because honestly, like, okay, there's a whole story with that costume that I don't tell a lot of people, so, but panel people get to hear it, because you guys are special because you came out, and I love you, so. So that costume came about because I was getting to this point where I was so sick and tired of seeing all of these people doing really, really sexy costumes and getting lots of attention for it, even if it didn't feel like it really was cosplay in my mind. Not to be mean to anyone, this was just in my mind and how I was feeling. And I was just like, why can't I just see something really cool and people acknowledge it? Like, why does that happens? Like, people make really cool cosplays and no one says anything, and it made me crazy. So, and I was also having issues with, I did a Mad Moxie a year prior to this, and I'm not skinny, but I got made fun of a lot because I didn't have a Mad Moxie body, okay? And I was also really bitter about that one too. So Totoro I made because I was like, what's an anime character that I love and I don't see a lot of? And I was like, Totoro. Man, what if I made a gown? Okay, that's an idea. What if I made a gown and put the soot sprites under it? Because if anyone knows, Dustbunny was the original dub for the English version of Totoro back in the 80s, and they called the soot sprites Dust Bunnies, or soot goblins Dust Bunnies. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then I went to Katsucon and didn't think anything of it. I was like, I love this costume, I made it, it's pretty baller. And it went viral all of a sudden, which kind of proves that the more authentic you are in this community, the more recognition you get, even if it doesn't come right away, because guys, I was doing this for like 10 years at this point, and no one cared. And it's very, very nice to just have, be validated and feel like you're doing a good job, you know, because you work so hard. But yeah, so Totoro is one, and then let's see. I really love Supersonica, obviously. I think this is my second Supersonica, but I have like 5 I want to make. I think she's great because she's a bigger girl in the Japanese world, and like you don't see really bigger characters in anime ever. So I really love her for that. And probably also the first cosplay I ever did, which was Kigome from Inuyasha. That one was my favorite. So yeah.
I want to see your hair going.
It's pretty cool.
I want to see so bad. I guess my armor was is my favorite for sure, because that was a pain, but I loved it. Like, I looked really cool. Like, I was walking at the con for like hours and hours, and people had no idea who I was. Like, walk up to me and like, whoa, like, can I take a picture of you? And I'm like, I know you. Like, we've been friends for a while. And then they'd take my picture and be like, wait, Nana? And I'd be like, yeah. You know? So I guess that made me feel really cool. I was like, yeah, I was another person. And Pam from Archer, of course, because Pam is awesome and she's gross. And I love her. And I guess my third one would be oh my god, that's how I met you. That's the only reason you're saying that. Oh yeah, I guess my Hinata. I had a lot of fun cosplaying Hinata. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly usually only cosplay characters that I have like a connection, or that I feel that, you know, like a really personal connection to the character. So every single one of my cosplays seems so precious to me, because it's just a character that I picked that I was like, I feel her, you know, like, so it's, I would have to say all of them. After I already named 3. You can go next.
And it's hard to choose just 3 when you have like so many cosplays that you've done. But I guess one of my favorites, probably the first cosplay that I ever made was Princess Midna from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I did the full body paint for that, and I made the cloak and everything, and I just walked around and I was like, yeah, I'm a princess.
Show us a picture of it because it sounds cute.
I actually don't have my phone with me, but I have a booth upstairs if you come, and I can show you that. I actually have a print up there. And then I guess I like feeling like a princess, so I also did Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I did her ball gown. That was my very first time ever making a dress, so I felt really proud of it, even though it's not exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I'm still in love with it. And I guess like as soon as I put it on, I was just like spinning in circles, like making the dress just like flow everywhere, and I was so happy until people just stepped all over it at conventions. And then I guess my third, I really like this one. My burlesque Sailor Jupiter. I've been seeing a lot of fan art of burlesque sailors, like the Sailor Scouts, and I was like, I'm gonna make that, but I wanted to make it my own, so I didn't follow exactly what I saw in the art pieces, but I got the idea from the internet pretty much, and I just... No flutter. Huh? No flutter? No, it wasn't No Flutter. It was... I wish I could remember the artist's name, but I know that I've seen the No Flutter one also though, but I don't know, I love Jupiter, so pretty much any version of her that I do, her regular version, battle damage, this version, like I love her to death. So I'm always happy whenever I get to be her.
When you guys first start like making your own cosplays and things like that, like what did you guys use to learn how to sew and style your wigs and do your makeup? Like where did you guys start with that?
YouTube. YouTube is kind of like my go-to thing for everything that I did for cosplay because I never knew how to sew or anything. So I went and found tutorials and I would just follow along. I'd pause and be like, okay, I can do this part, play. What do I need to do next? Pause it again, do that part. And I'm like, okay. And now I don't really need to follow the tutorials as much. But there's also, I think it's actually just called cosplaytutorial.com, and you can find tutorials for all different costumes, different ways of making armor, props, like everything. They have videos, or they just have like photos of step-by-step how to do things. So that website really comes in handy.
Yeah, for me, I didn't have YouTube, but now I do, and now it's great. I feel very happy about that. But for me, I guess you have to understand sewing is kind of a dying art. You know, it's like one of those things where it skips a generation. So like both my grandparents, my grandmas, they both were sewers. They had sewing machines and stuff like that. And then my parents, they never learned to sew, so I couldn't learn from them. But I learned from my neighbor. She was a sewer. But also, you know, I also went to, like in high school, we had sewing classes, so I opted for those and I took those, which were really great. And I know in Los Angeles there's a ton of places, if you just look up online, where they offer classes. Like I know there's a place in the Fabric District where they do have classes and you can go take those. And that's super great because it's nice to have someone with you, because tutorials are nice, but if you don't even know how a machine is put together or strung, or you've never used a serger or any of that stuff, it's really great to have someone to sit with you and walk you through it, at least the first few times. Do something 3 times, you'll pretty much have it after that, so. Yeah. My grandma.
You know how you feel.
How long does it take for like one cosplay design? How many hours? Like how long do you take to get it done?
I guess for me it depends on what I'm making. I guess like this costume only took maybe like a couple of days, but if I make like a gown, like right now I'm working with fabric that has sequins in it, and I have to rip out all the sequins that are on the seam side because you can't send that through your machine or else it'll like destroy your needles. So that's gonna take me more like a month to finish that outfit. But also you have to keep in mind, I have a full-time job, so I only work maybe at nights and also on the weekends. But I do wanna stress, do not, when someone says, oh, it took me like a year to make this costume, that doesn't mean anything. Because everyone works at different paces, and also if you want to go into the industry, like, because we live in Los Angeles, if you want to go into movies, like fabricate for, you know, feature films or do props or anything, their time, like the time they have to make something is a couple of days at most. So you have to be fast. So don't worry about that. Just take your time, and you know, you'll eventually get faster, and it'll come a lot easier. So I guess we only have like 5 minutes, right?
No,
8? All right, cool. So, more questions, yes?
What's the most positive experience you had at a con?
My most positive experience is just when someone asks for my photo. That always makes me feel really good. Even now, I don't care. It's like I feel really good about it. And I tell people when they start cosplaying that if someone comes up to you at your first con and you're wearing your first costume you've ever made, and someone's like, can I have a photo of you? You will never stop cosplaying after that. That's just where it starts, and you'll never stop.
I agree with what you said. I also add like that. I already said this like at the entrance ceremony, so I don't know if you guys weren't there. I'll make it fast. I was cosplaying Snow White. I wasn't getting good feedback, and then a little girl walked up to me and was just like, "You're so pretty!" Like she called me gorgeous, and then hugged me, and I was like bawling. And yeah, that's it. You know.
I guess for me, I was at Anime Expo as Belle, and I'm just walking, and out of nowhere I just hear like really softly, "Princess Belle?" And I turn around and there's just these 3 little girls just like looking up at me, like, and they just wanted a photo, and it was just like, come here. Like I just like grabbed them, like one was on my hip, the other one was like on my leg, and I was just like, all right, let's do this photo. And just having the like little kids like actually calling me by like the like Princess Belle, I was like, I did it. I'm a princess. Like, but being able to like see the smiles on their face and their eyes lighting up, getting to see like a princess that they love from the movies actually like in real life, like it made me really happy that I could do that for them.
This is kind of just like a funny question. Have you ever had a cosplay that like destroyed your house? Like on the subject of like furs or sequins or like anything like that. Have you ever had something that just wrecked your home? Because I have.
Every single costume.
Yeah, pretty much.
I used to live in LA. I know, because everyone knows rent here is ridiculous. So I used to live in a 500 square foot apartment with the worst lighting possible, and it would just get destroyed. Costumes would be on the kitchen counter. Costumes would be on the living room floor, which is pretty much the same floor as my kitchen floor. So now I try to condense it to one room because now I've moved, thank God. And now it's in one room. So if you ever see photos of me, that's where I'm taking the photos, is in my craft room. And that room is just right now there's tulle everywhere. There's sequins everywhere. There's tools everywhere. There's pins on the floor. It's pretty bad. It's like a death zone.
I was gonna ask, like, are you gonna get your deposit back? Oh,
As soon as you asked that, my boyfriend behind you was just looking at me and rolled his eyes. He's like, yes, like, I destroy our apartment, like, in a regular basis, but I think the worst was, I made, like, I had, like, a Disney pass, so I was really into making, like, Disney bounding, like, outfits, and I made an Ariel one, and he's just looking at me like, okay, I did this in our old apartment, and the top was, like, sequins, and then we moved, and we still find the sequins from that top. Like, it's not even funny. Like, in random places.
Once a week.
Once a week, yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, that's definitely what's gonna happen to you. But it is. It was absolutely hilarious though, because every time he finds one, he's like, oh, and I'm just like, ha ha ha. Yeah, you chose to date a cosplayer. What?
No glitter inside the house.
Oh yeah, that's our rule now. No glitter inside the house. Oh, I have like this huge like Princess Bubblegum Victorian era dress, and I'm like huge into Adventure Time, and I had to get into his car so we would go to the con, right? And I'm like, I don't fit in the front seat because it's huge, so I'm in the back seat. And I leave the car, and we don't notice because it's at night, and when we get in the car in the morning, it's like a unicorn poop there. You know, it was like covered in glitter, and it wasn't even like just a tiny little bit. No, like piles and piles of glitter, and he was just like, you better wash my car. And I was like, no. But yeah, you know, you chose to date a cosplayer. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess with this cosplay, I made these fans, and I have feathers everywhere. Like, I fell asleep and I woke up this morning with like a feather like sticking out of my mouth. I was like they're everywhere in my room. I don't even know how they spread so quickly, but like the smallest things that you use can just go everywhere in your house. It doesn't matter like what cosplay you're doing, there's gonna be a mess no matter what. Like I'm like cleaning up after cosplays for like a week. I'm like, oh, there's still more? Okay, let's get that put away. But life as a cosplayer, you have a mess everywhere.
Next question. Yes.
Biggest cosplay disaster, like making a cosplay, like what's like the biggest thing that's gone wrong?
What's gone wrong?
What's the biggest thing
Biggest
that's gone
cosplay
wrong?
disaster.
Like while making a cosplay.
Everything. Literally, there's always that one outfit that you put on, and it's like, it completely falls apart. Like, I found an outfit that I was like super excited, it looked absolutely amazing, and the day of the convention I put it on, and it just it looked amazing on the mannequin, but it did not look amazing on me because of my weird shape. So it was like super awkward, and the back part fell apart, so I had like a booty window, and it was just super awkward. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go in regular clothes today. But that's not a thing when you're a cosplayer, so of course I was just like, I'd rather be late. Just fixed it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with me too, is just like, if I make something on a mannequin, it's the process of taking it off the mannequin, putting it back on you, measuring it, pinning it, putting it back on the mannequin. And I guess my big rule is never use hot glue, or try not to use hot glue. Learn your adhesives. Fabric does not work with hot glue, ever. Actually, now I've moved over to, if you guys can find it, it's carpenter tape, or carpenter's tape. It's awesome. It works on anything, and it'll adhere anything to anything. So, and also the best adhesives are usually the most expensive, but they're worth it. So, yeah.
Alright, I think we're out of time now, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thanks for coming and listening to us and asking all the questions. If you guys have any more, like, feel free to come and talk to us after. We love talking to you guys.
And if not, you can find us all on Facebook. So I'm Dustbunny, one word.
I'm Nana Bear.
And I'm Sarah Storm.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for being here.